देखो मैं कोई प्रोफेशनल कुक हूँ नहीं, but I can always try and learn.
Nice. Because my mom moved here from America.
तो क्या अमेरिका में कुकिंग नहीं करते?
नहीं करते। अमेरिका में बल्कि और कुकिंग करते हैं, but yeah, please don't look at my atta. It's really bad.
तो आपका तो अच्छा बन रहा है।
Like I'm in a dilemma. Am I reversing the cause of feminism?
आपकी पता है प्रॉब्लम क्या है? That you think of career and managing the household as two contradictory ideas. क्या करना चाहिए मुझे इसमें?
I have a recipe.
The recipe is flour and water. Do you want to be a mom?
Yeah, I do.
But you know what the first step to that is, Chandra?
I have to talk to a boy.
Find a boy.
Oh God. The economic output of running a home is, I would say, on par with any 9-to-5 job, if not more. Like
Yeah,
running.
because it enables everything else you do.
This life stuff is hard. Do you think home sciences should be a mandatory course for all children in school?
That's such a good idea. ये क्या बना दिया आपने?
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Gup Shup with Poshak. Last time we saw us grooming Poshak to get ready to meet the one. But is he ready to take up the mantle of responsibility of being a good husband? What do you think, Poshak? Are you ready?
I'm learning.
And what is more quintessential to running a household than knowing how to make rotis? And not just any rotis, goal rotis. So, शादी की उम्र तो आ गई है, but रोटी बनाना आई है कि नहीं ये आज हम देखने जा रहे हैं.
चलो, let's find out.
Awesome. Varna, my pati in the future will have to sing Tujhe sang sukhi roti bhai. But we won't let that happen, right? Because apparently I'm here to learn from a master. I heard a rumor that you actually know more than you let on about how to make rotis.
I can try, guys.
I have a feeling you have a few tricks up your sleeve. So let's get started, shall we? Aprons first.
Okay.
So, Poshak, growing up, who generally took up the responsibility of like managing the kitchen and the food and everything in your home?
Traditionally, it was my mom who managed the kitchen. Mm-hmm. In our household, we always divided responsibilities towards the household. अगर कोई repair का काम है घर में या गाड़ियाँ service करानी है या staff को manage करना है, that my father would do, right? And my mom would also do that. But she primarily sort of managed the kitchen.
No, I think it's interesting too because we talk a lot about how in modern times it's really important to have equal relationships, right? 50-50 split of tasks.
Yeah, I mean that's Adam Smith, right? Division of labor,
right?
The husband, the wife, the kids, everyone who's part of the household should contribute to it, right? It doesn't have to be that everyone is just contributing in the kitchen or everyone is just doing repairs, right? So you can divvy up responsibilities and support the household.
Understood.
I'm not saying at all that it should only be the women who should do cooking. Not at all. There are so many households where the guys would do cooking, right? Whatever you like doing, whatever you're good at, find ways to contribute to the household. That's my operating principle.
Sure. Shall we start?
Yeah.
So I'm guesstimating here. Also, you guys, we have a cheat code because I did print out a recipe, but I still think following a recipe is an art
आपको रोटी बनाने की रेसिपी चाहिए चंदा.
Before this interview, I was watching a YouTube tutorial. ताकि मेरी बेइज्जती ना हो. What does being a good husband mean to you?
Well, I'm not one yet.
Right.
First and foremost, obviously, like companionship, right? Being able to love the partner and staying together in thick and thin.
Sure. I think those are all really nice. But in a very practical sense, like when it comes to running a household together, there's a lot of like responsibilities and roles that have to be divvied up. What do you define as your role within the household?
We'll have to obviously talk that through. But I'd love to help in whatever way I can. I'm good at operations and managing things in general.
Yeah.
Just because, of my work.
Nature of the work.
So, whether it's sort of building a house or, maintaining it or managing the cars or running groceries, bijli, pani, jo bhi hai, right? Plumbing.
Yeah.
So, देखो मेरे से जो होगा that I do today towards my house and I will obviously continue to do that. Yeah.
I think, yeah.
But देखो मैं कोई professional cook हूँ नहीं, but I can always try and learn.
Nice. Well, I appreciate that openness.
What is your idea about being a wife?
Such an interesting question because my household model was so different growing up.
What was it?
Given that my mom was really focused on her career and her professional development, I never saw her in the kitchen, which I think is part of the reason I'm very intimidated by the concept of like cooking, especially for a family. Because my mom moved here from America.
तो क्या अमेरिका में cooking नहीं करते?
नहीं करते अमेरिका में बल्कि और कुकिंग करते हैं, but my dad always used to cook in America. When I grew up, हम जब बचपन में घर खेलते थे dolls के साथ, my sister and I, it was never कि घर में खाना बना रहे हैं, घर में सफाई कर रहे हैं या बच्चों को पाल रहे हैं. It was like कि मैं ready हो रही हूँ ऑफिस जाने के लिए. Even when we used to play when we were kids, right? So I think in the future, to be a good wife, to me, is something that may look very different than what a lot of guys might expect out of being a good wife. To that end, like I also just want to talk about the amount of labor that goes into managing a home.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lot of work.
The economic output of running a home is, I would say, on par with any 9-to-5 job, if not more. Like
Yeah,
running,
because it enables everything else you do. If you don't have a loving, functional household, how would you do anything else?
sure.
So it's very important, and obviously it must be, very respected.
Naturally. And I feel like a lot of times, because it's women's labor, sometimes it's devalued in terms of how difficult it is. We just say, oh yeah, like घर पे तो बैठती है, काम तो करती नहीं होगी. She is a nanny. She's a chef. She's a housekeeper. She's managing the budget. She's managing the groceries. She's in operational management. She's caring for the elders in the home. So if you think about all the different roles that she plays and the kind of economic contribution that she is making so that people can go out and buy yeah, please don't look at my atta. It's really bad.
तो आपका तो अच्छा बन रहा है.
I don't know what's happening. I think I don't have enough.
ये क्या करना चाहिए मुझे
If
इसमें?
we, I have a recipe.
The recipe is flour and water.
नहीं, इसमें नमक भी डलता है. But what was I saying? Like honestly, I think that it's a lot of unpaid labor managing a home. Do you think it will ever not be disproportionately heavy on the woman in a relationship?
Yes and no. In some ways, yes, like, it could be equal. Though I think that, like, in a relationship, you shouldn't like be keeping count. You should just do your best to contribute to each other and to the home.
Okay.
No, because, being a mother is really, really hard. And I don't think like any man can really understand what that really means. So can it really be equal? No. I think like, men should go do more to especially when
there's children
involved and kids need moms in a very particular way.
Yeah.
And just, it's just hard for women.
Yeah.
And we need to have empathy and understanding for that.
I know, like I also think like, in an ideal world, like there's a 50-50 split, but the kind of mental labor that a mother is always doing, like always worrying about her child.
It's not just mental, like it's mental and physical. Yeah.
True. One thing I struggle with, Poshak, sometimes, like I'm in a dilemma, basically, because for generations, the women in my family lineage have fought for our right to go out, work, be independent, be career driven. Like I come from a long line of really strong feminist women, right? Sometimes when I start liking a guy, I start really wanting to cook for him or like really imagining a life where I just want to like be a housewife and like take care of the kids. And like that idea sounds really appealing to me. But at the same time, I also feel like, am I reversing the cause of feminism by like giving up on all the things that my great grandmothers and grandmothers sacrificed for? How do I reconcile that?
आपकी पता है problem क्या है?
I want to take some.
Oh, you're trying the milk on now.
I'm stealing your milk.
See, you like doing this.
Agar mummy ne that's my point. I do like it.
Yeah. See, the problem is that you think of career and managing the household as two contradictory ideas, right? Like they don't necessarily have to be, right? Imagine you were not living in India and you were living in America. Would that be so much of a contradiction? वहाँ पे तो हर आदमी अपना काम खुद करता है. You want to be able to professionally develop yourself. You want to be able to develop your mind, right? And those are good goals, right? But there's nothing wrong in making a good meal or just contributing to the household. They don't necessarily have to be at odds.
I guess, but it just feels like double work. His job is to go out, work, come home. So if I want to go out and work, there's still that baseline expectation that I'm still going to also be managing the home.
Just because you're ambitious doesn't mean that you can't contribute to the household. And the flip side is just because you're contributing to the household doesn't automatically mean that you can't be ambitious. And it's all about balance. It's all about balance. Feminism should mean enabling women. Like women should be able to go out there, do what they want.
Do you feel like when you lived abroad, it was like a good training for you to like be independent?
Yeah, हम अपना काम खुद करना पड़ता था.
Did you do it?
I lived in a dorm room and the university gave us sort of meals. But बाकी अपना काम, अपनी laundry खुद करनी है. You have to clean your own room, etc. And like managing everything else, right? And I think that's a very good skill. Like learning that at an early age, being able to just manage your own life without depending on anyone else is a very good skill.
Extremely important. A lot of the guys that I've met dating here sometimes are so dependent on other people, especially the women in their lives, कि मम्मी मेरी जिराबे कहाँ हैं, मम्मी मेरा briefcase कहाँ है. मतलब उनको बचपन से ही coddle किया गया है. They've never had to lift a finger, right?
But is that only true for guys?
I think women are taught to be more independent and take care of like things by themselves. But I do have met a lot of ladle Raja betas who have never had to lift a single finger, who have never had to enter the kitchen, let alone think about when their laundry is going to get done. It's just laid out for them on the bed every morning before they have to go to
then you can start
their father's business.
You can start a roti-making class.
Of course,
for guys.
yeah, I'm sure they'll show up for that one. Sometimes when I'm dating people, I like to see, have they ever lived on their own at some point? Have they had a stint where they needed to fend for themselves? Whether it's study abroad, whether it was working for a year abroad.
Doesn't have to be that if you study abroad only then you learn to fend for yourself. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि if you stay in India, you won't learn how to fend for yourself.
I think that if you stay in India and you live at home your whole life, in your family, where there's a joint family, and there's, you're all living together, there's 7 different people of help in your home. I feel it's a very different experience than when you are in a flat alone in New York City and you need to deal with the landlord and you need to figure out how do you take your clothes to the laundromat because you don't have an in-unit washing machine. Like, it's a very different experience. I can speak for myself. I grew up in India, plenty of privilege, plenty of help. As soon as I went there, it was a wake-up call. Bhai, get up.
But I'm completely with you that like families should encourage all children to be self-sufficient and they should learn the skills to be able to run their lives.
Otherwise, it will always fall to the woman in the home. कि अरे मुझे तो आता नहीं है, weaponized incompetence हो जाता है.
बिल्कुल fair बात है.
अब तो मेरा आटा का बॉल बन गया.
ये देखो मेरा भी बन गया.
I think mine's really nice and soft.
But mine is like softer.
I think at this time we can maybe let them rest.
Okay.
Use a little ghee. Oh, okay. We're getting hints from our producer. Do you like ghee?
Who doesn't like ghee?
Yeah, that's true. So tasty. Do you think that women are inherently better at household like management than men?
Maybe because in Indian households, women just tend to do more of that. So maybe that's the case, right? It doesn't have to be necessarily. Actually, तो इतने famous chef हैं वो तो men भी हैं, women भी हैं, men भी हैं.
And there's a lot of female CEOs and CFOs and CTOs. Exactly.
तो ये तो हमारे minds का बनाया हुआ है.
The autonomy in a relationship, the independence and the respect for each other's choices and preferences, as long as there is both genuine contribution, perhaps result in a healthy marriage.
Yeah.
I think another important point is like recognizing the efforts of the other person. Like not just assuming that it's a given.
Yeah.
कि हाँ भाई वो last में खा रही है because she's standing up the whole time to make rotis for everybody and फिर उन्होंने last में खाया.
Yeah.
Like genuine respect, genuine appreciation and verbalizing that acknowledgement of their labor. भाई having a child is like the most intellectually and physically challenging task known to man.
जैसे कि आपका rebirth होता है.
Really?
That's what they say.
Wow. Yeah, it is an incredibly difficult, incredibly challenging task. I would, you can't liken it to anything that we ever do at the office, basically.
Do you want to be a mom?
Yeah, I do. I really do. Like, that's what I've always said. Like, I was put on this earth to be a mom. Like, I feel that from the start. मुझे guilt इस बात का feel होता है कि I want to be a mother. I would love to be a homemaker maybe for a period of time. But then I feel guilty. कहीं मैं अपने parents को let down नहीं कर रही हूँ. उन्होंने मुझे इतना पढ़ाया है, इतने आगे तक मुझे सिखाया है कि खुद financially independent बनो, ये बनो, वो बनो, और फिर मैं घर पे बैठ गई.
It's all about balance, right? तो आपको दोनों चीजें करनी है. You have a responsibility not just to your parents but to your own being, to develop yourselves intellectually, mentally,
even financially,
in every way,
to
right?
create
Like,
a standing.
yeah, exactly, right? You have to develop your mind.
But I
yourself
also
in so
have
many
to
ways.
fulfill my calling. Like, if I feel like my sole calling is to be a mother, then I have a responsibility to fulfill.
And that's an important human experience. And if that is something important to you, then you should fulfill
prioritize that.
But you know what the first step to that is, Chandra?
Do I have to talk to a boy?
Find a boy.
Oh God.
And don't shoo them off.
Oh God, that's the worst part. That to be a mom, I have to like entertain a man.
Huh?
I wish that wasn't part of it. Now we have let our beautiful dough rest for 5 to 7 minutes to let it relax a little bit. How is it feeling, Poshak?
It's feeling very good.
Yours looks a lot better than mine. Mine is very, very hard.
ये क्या बना दिया आपने?
It's giving.
You need to soften this.
Yeah, it's giving Play-Doh. So now that brings us to the next step, rolling out the dough. And this is so crucial because this is what determines circularity.
देखो, my rotis will be more circular. I challenge you.
I'm bad at atta, but I was pretty good at geometry in school. So I know all about diameters.
I think I was probably a better math student.
Yeah. Do you feel like food is the way to someone's heart?
It could be. Food is such a shared experience, and at least it's a way to my heart.
It's a way to connect with other
Yes,
people.
you feel so happy.
By that logic, like, am I not devoted to my husband or my family if I'm not able to like feed them? I have this like insecurity.
I think you should just learn to fend for yourself.
But isn't cooking for someone like a way of expressing love for them?
It's one of the ways. It's not the only way.
Right. What would you cook for your wife?
I mean, clearly, we're learning to make rotis and
Okay.
maybe some sabji. And
क्या बना लेते हो सब्जी में?
मैं बना लेता हूँ मैं आलू जीरा, आलू मटर. I can make bhindi. Thoda, I'm not very good at it, but you won't puke after eating it.
Okay.
It may not be like gourmet chef level, obviously.
Listen.
But edible ban jayega, hopefully. I can make omelets. You know.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
I can make a paratha.
I think I've made like the state of Madhya Pradesh with my own. Oh, you're already ready? Oh my God, I'm not ready. One thing I know for sure is that roti bane na bane. But I can make a mean batch of chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, that's good.
So he may get diabetes, but he won't go hungry.
You two are lethal, Chandra.
I am. I may kill him. I'll kill him one way or the other. Maybe I was being too it was an oversimplification to say that only people or guys who studied abroad know how to fend for themselves, because in this country, so many people leave their hometowns to move to metro cities and work for themselves, and those people have to manage to survive, right?
Absolutely.
If you are living in your own flat, you have to like figure out what you're going to eat and how do you live.
You have to take care of your flat, you have to take care of
Manage
your room, you have to like cook for yourself. A lot of people in India do that. So you certainly don't have to go abroad to learn skills to fend for yourself, Chandra.
Definitely. And also, if you have gone abroad, it's by no means a guarantee that you actually ever learn to fend for yourself.
Yeah, you'll find enough entitled people as well.
Exactly. And if they're Indian gone abroad, tab to aur bhi likely hai, because then they are of a certain, I think, economic layer.
Doesn't have to be,
Do you think home economics or home sciences should be a mandatory course for all children in school?
That's such a good idea. I think, that can actually really add value to so many kids.
भाई ये वाला तो अच्छा बनेगा, ये जो मैं बना रही हूँ. Wow, it's actually happening. This is so exciting. Thank you. This is my audition tape. So if any mother-in-laws are watching, avert your eyes. You do not want to see this. I promise I have other skills. Poshak, is it a requirement that you would want your future wife to know how to cook?
Not really.
No.
Is there a requirement that you would want your future husband how to cook?
Yeah, probably. We might starve to death if he doesn't.
Guys, देखो मेरी रोटी तो बन गई.
Oh my god.
कैसी
Oh my
है?
god. Oh wow. घी किसी चीज पे लगाओ ना तो बहुत बढ़िया लगता है. The ultimate test of whether you know you're ready to be a wife or not is if you can flip the roti with your bare fingers. That's when you graduate to like ultimate. I think running a business is kind of akin to running a home. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because you have to be a very good multitasker. You have to manage in a business, right? Like you need to manage relationships in a household. You need to get things done, right? Whether it's a business or a home, and you have to manage, operations very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that may be right.
I think there's a lot of skills implicated. And what's so interesting is like when it's female labor, we somehow give it less importance. When it's in the office, you're a manager, you have leadership skills. When it's at the home, it's an expectation. It's, oh, she's so empathetic. No, she's getting shit done. Like she is managing timetables and calendars and schedules of 7 different people. We're turning up the heat in the kitchen. It's getting hot. This wife stuff is hard. This was a lot of work.
This was a lot of work, and so much respect for people who know how to cook, because हम दोनों की रोटी फुली नहीं.
Not only that, someone might actually break a tooth while trying to consume this.
It looks okay.
Okay, thank you for that. But you're a student of economics. Do you think we should start paying people for the home labor that they do, like wives?
It's a wife, not a cook, right? So you can't do like payroll and stuff. What kind of a question is that, Chandra?
You're producing things, right? You're literally producing human beings.
So if a wife tells the husband like go to the market and get like sabzi, you'll be like Blinkit boy ka charge lega kya wo?
No, I guess you can't account for all of that. But I'm just saying.
I think we should be respectful to everyone who contributes to the household and acknowledge that. That's the best way of paying. It's a family, it's not a transaction, Chandra.
At this time, we will call in a professional judge who has decades of experience being a wife, professionally and personally. We'll see who's more ready to be a husband or a wife. Hello, Sneha.
हाय
कैसे हो?
मैं ठीक हूँ, आप कैसे हो?
बढ़िया. आपने अपनी लाइफ में रोटी बनाई है कभी?
हाँ, बहुत
रोज बनाई है.
रोज बनती है. आपने सिर्फ आटा बहुत टाइट करा है, बाकी रोटी अच्छी बनी है आपकी. थोड़ा सा आटा थोड़ा सा और हल्का होता ना तो और अच्छी बनती. इसे आप बहुत अच्छी बना रहे थे.
शेप अच्छी बनाई है.
हाँ, गोल आई है. आपने खा ली.
मुझे भूख लग गई.
सर की रोटी अच्छी है.
ज़्यादा बड़ी नहीं है.
बड़ी है, कोई बात नहीं सर, लेकिन आपने एकदम प्रॉपर रोटी जैसी बनाई है.
अच्छा.
सॉफ्ट है ना ज़्यादा?
सॉफ्ट
थोड़ी
भी
खस्ता
है.
रोटी टाइप है.
हाँ हाँ. और सिक्की भी बहुत अच्छे से आपकी. सर को मिलते हैं
10 में से
8.5.
Wow, that's not
Oh,
bad, Poshak.
thank you.
और आपको 10 में से 7.5.
7.5. Okay, we can work with that.
लेकिन आपने कोशिश की है, बहुत अच्छी बनाई है.
मेहनत करेंगे इस पे थोड़ा सा और.
नहीं नहीं, अच्छी बनाई है. और सच की मतलब ऐसे कि बहुत खा सकते हैं. पेट भर जाएगा.
मतलब अंदर तो चला जाएगा.
हाँ.
This one is questionable as to its digestion.
आप आटा को भी तो रेट करो.
हाँ, आटा भी सर ने अच्छा मला है. ये रोटी का है, ये पूड़ी का आटा है.
ठीक है, इसको हम तल देंगे.
हाँ, और ये रोटी वाला आटा है.
All right.
This was so much fun.
Thank you so much, Sneha.
Thank you, sir.
And with that, another Gup Shup draws to a close. Thank you for joining me, Poshak.
Thanks for having me, Chandra. This was so much fun.
Absolutely. And another insightful conversation and a really fun activity down. Join us in the next one to see how else are we prepared or not prepared to be married. Bye.
Bye. Cheers.
What? Not us eating rotis.
कहाँ नाट टूटेगा सिकंदर?
चलो एडिबल तो बन गई दोनों.
अच्छी बनी है.
Oh wow.